Hey, 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 goodness to you. It's Sporty King, and I'm on just a little less than 2 minutes to go for today's message. If you're watching on the video, that means you can either push pause or you can go get another glass of water or whatever. You got, about a minute plus to get that done. But I like to come on before the start time just in case for that, in that incident that somebody's doing something. They say, oh my God, I want to click. So finish out what they're doing, and then, we get a little bit of a live audience. That's the tech tip for whenever you're doing broadcasts. It's all optional, and then see, I can also do my shout outs because I see I got two people. Let me know where you're watching from, and I'll give you a quick shout out. But hey, what's going on, Jose Valencia Haas, coming in from the East Coast? That's New York for me. All right, my brother grew up and raised together in Grant houses in Harlem, New York, 125th and Broadway. Less than a minute to go for today's message. Yeah, what you call it? The city of Yonkers, right? Yep, city of Yonkers. New York, New York. And what's going on? My sister from Chicago, Zelda Z. Zelda. Hey, hey, hey. Oh my God. My Bidwis challenge partner too. Zelda, those are hilarious when you put those up there, okay? But so we got the Chicago and New York in the house, and we got less than 30 seconds for today's message. So get ready. Even if you're watching the video, you can go on and let me know where you're coming from. Looking forward to sportyism. Okay, well, let's get started with them, okay? All right, so hey, let's get going. Hey, so goodness to you. And I say goodness because I don't know whether you're watching morning, afternoon, or evening, but isn't it great to have good in front of your salutation? All right. Welcome to Gift Friday. I created it because so often we hear people say TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. But I say, what allure does Friday have to the person that took their last breath on Thursday? Therefore, I use what I've learned through Psalm 92:2, and that is, it is good to proclaim your unfailing love in the morning, your faithfulness in the evening. Let me make sure this thing is broadcasting right. Yes, it is. Cool in the gang. All right, your faithfulness in the evening. And that allows me to use not TG, another way of not looking at TGIF, but using TGIT. Not thank God it's Thursday, but TGIT, thank God it's today. And then TGIT, thank God it's tonight, which then moves me to another scripture, which is Matthew 6:34. It is, so don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring its own worries. Thank God it's tonight. Today's trouble is enough for today. Thank God it's today. Yes, see, darkness always precedes the light. And also, I look at that scripture and I think about John Lewis. Today's trouble is enough for today. Yeah, well, because maybe today is some good trouble. All right, but let's move on. We always got to stay creative. All right, stay creative and stay in the moment. But let's look at another way of looking at TGIF, and that is TGIF. Trusting God is free. Think about what it costs to be blessed with the greatest gift of the day, waking up. Doesn't cost you a dime. So trusting God is free. And that still moves us into realizing if we take that TGIF and take the T from the front of it and move it to the back, we find what we really must give God thanks for. And that is today. GIFT. God is for today. And Gift Friday is the online sharing of one of my original poetic messages and its possible uses to inspire audiences online or in person. And each poem will then be my gift to you. Okay, so here you hear me read it, and I'll share this week's gift. And then after the broadcast, I'll paste it in the threads on Facebook and LinkedIn. If you're on YouTube or watching from my website and you like a copy, just put that request in comments, not in the thread, because the thread get erased after the broadcast. But comments, I can email you a copy. And so, meanwhile, you're really going to have to go to poetry class with me on this one, okay? Because this week's poem is from my book, I Found Out I'm Living, an Affirmation of Life. And it asks the question, how far is the middle? Now, you might also enjoy downloading and rereading it after the broadcast or before it. If you're watching it on the video, You can go on and on you on if you're on Facebook or LinkedIn, download it before I read it, and then go along with me. But doesn't matter. You might have just as much fun waiting to after hearing the broadcast, then downloading it and rereading it according to how I read it in the broadcast. So here's how far is the middle. How far is the middle? Have you run this race before? Do you know how to be a winner, or do you just know how to score? Our lives move forward at a pace set by words, where all things we're about to, getting ready to, thinking about doing can get the last laugh when we put our breathing on hold to explain or justify indecision. How far is the middle? Have you run this race before? Do you know how to be a winner? You can fly or you can soar. See, our lives are so when our lives are so cut and dry, black and white, hot or cold, we find ourselves surrounded by options that possess a new clarity, though we can't recognize or acknowledge it. A clarity that thirsts for connection, understanding, empathy, flexibility, joy, reward, truth, love. You know what I'm saying? How far is the middle? Have you asked him to keep your score? For you know how to be a winner. You can fly or you can soar. Our starting and ending points mean little. What we've done to get here is what counts. Let us be thankful for the experience, even the blessing to look back and see the lessons of life learned our way that shape us and help us to be. How close are you to God? Have you asked him to keep your score? For you know how to be a winner. You can fly or you can soar. Now, the joke is that I was inspired to write this poem because a woman told me we couldn't date. This is back in the early 2000s. She told me she couldn't date me because she was in the middle of a divorce. And in my mind, I asked, well, how far is the middle? As far as I'm concerned, you're either interested or not. Now, don't jump through the computer screen yet. I know she was just using a nice way to say no. And we stayed cool and stayed friends after that. But I told you she inspired the poem. It's not against her. So let me go back to my thought in writing the poem, which is about something we really don't know. And that is the answer to the question, how far is the middle? So using her relationship, think about it. When did the divorce really start? Not with the serving of the papers or even the first discussion. Feelings had to change, be internally questioned and reconsidered. Things had to be noticed and overlooked, bounced off of someone you trusted, flashbacks and forecasts revisited, wedding vows recited. And when the paperwork is finalized, adjustments will have to be made in daily habits. Living space reconsidered, comfort levels with mutual friends, reactions to seeing one another with another, gifts recategorized, flashbacks and forecasts revisited, the judge's final ruling recited. So not knowing where it began, who knows where it will end? Who knows where the middle really is? Now, using our lives, we commonly say that we're in the middle of a storm or some situation when we actually don't know when it's going to end. Yet we believe that it will. That's what the poem is really about. As I mentioned, you're really going to have to go to poetry class with me on this one. You see, it's actually 3 poems in one. The real poem is about that middle stanza. Here's what it says. See, when our lives are so cut and dry, black and white, hot or cold, we find ourselves surrounded by options that possess a new clarity, though we can't recognize or acknowledge it. A clarity that thirsts for connection, understanding, empathy, flexibility, joy, reward, truth, love. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's the middle stanza. And think about it, when our lives are cut and dry, black and white, hot or cold, that's a life stuck in a box that is surrounded by all the beauty and color in our world. And the most important thing outside that box are the choices we can make to have those things we're missing when we allow someone to shut our lives down. Connection, understanding, empathy, flexibility, joy, reward, truth, love. And then the chorus line, the chorus melody of "How far is the middle?" is actually used 4 times in the poem. Yet on the 4th time, it actually switches to "How close are you to God? Have you asked him to keep your score? For you know how to be a winner. You can fly or you can soar." You see, the middle is not as important as your relationship with God. He knows where every storm started. He knows where every storm will end. So what you'll see is that the stanzas above and after that middle stanza can be read in reverse. And that would be your second poem. Then taking the first 3 chorus melodies out to create your third poem, your third and final poem, which reminds you to add it all up and know that you are a winner. Not only should you believe you can fly, you should believe that you could soar. Here's how that would sound, and I've added this version to the download. How far is the middle? Our lives move forward at a pace set by words, where all things we're about to, getting ready to, thinking about doing can get the last laugh when we put our breathing on hold to explain or justify indecision. See, when our lives are so cut and dry, black and white, hot or cold, we find ourselves surrounded by options that possess a new clarity, though we can't recognize or acknowledge it. A clarity that thirsts for connection, understanding, empathy, flexibility, joy, reward, truth, love. You know what I'm saying? Our starting and ending points mean little. What we've done to get here is what counts. Let us be thankful for the experience, even the blessing to look back and see the lessons of life learned our way that shape us and help us to be. How far is the middle? How close are you to God? Have you asked him to keep your score? For you know how to be a winner. You can fly or you can soar. Have a safe and wonderful weekend. You see, we know that this is the end of the week. So feel free to download your copy, replay the broadcast, and then join me in poetry class. If you're on YouTube or my website, you'll need to put your comment. You'll need to get it from Facebook or LinkedIn or ask in the comments. The book can be purchased at my website, sportyking.com. And meanwhile, yes, I am Sporty King, and I wish you a wonderfully happy and safe Gift Friday. Be safe and remember that God is actually always for today. Ciao. And what's going on? Hey, my big sister Marsha came in while I was reading. And again, greetings to Haas from New York. And Zelda came on with it, also from Chicago. And okay, yeah, have a great weekend, everybody. Please stay safe and alert. Yeah, I'm gonna post it in. Like I said, you'll see that there's the 3 poems, and one I'm gonna post it in the feed as soon as we hang up. But I always say that there's a delay between the broadcast and the comments, so I'll give it 10 seconds before I end the broadcast, and that's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. God bless you and stay safe. Ciao.